Hello everyone, this is Alex and welcome to Burton Land, where we discuss all things Tim Burton. Now, if you remember from my last video, I did an unboxing of a board game based on Nightmare Before Christmas. You can go and watch that video to see my first impressions of what it is, and I said I was going to go away and try and learn it. So I have had a look at it. So I've played it a couple of times and I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. So this is basically the video, sort of a tutorial. I'll try and explain it as best as I can. If I do get anything wrong or if I'm mistaken, then please comment down below, because I would love to know if I have made any mistakes as far as characters or whatever, because some of them were a little bit confusing at first, because I was like, wait, I'm reading this but I'm not, like, so anyway. So yeah, hope you enjoy this tutorial. So this is pretty much the table laid out as though there are 6 players, i.e. 6 characters available. Each one has their own personalised deck with their face on the cover, and you just put it on the left hand side of the character board. You also have your holiday tokens, both representing Halloween and Christmas. These are what you're fighting or competing against. And these are basically if you manage to get 10 of whatever tokens they are, or 5, so that will help you just to make sure you don't get too much tokens. And then in the center we have the round wheel, showing you which round you are on and what is the middle location. The locations are these circular cards. So at the beginning of each round, you will start off with your little pumpkin token, just to make sure to keep track. So for example, round 1 says 4 cards in each hand and play 3 cards. And you will put a location, have a good shuffle, and you'll put a location in that middle circle. So for example, here we have the Halloween town square. At the bottom, you will see all of these rounds, round 1, round 2 to 3, round 4, to indicate how many holiday tokens you put on. If it's in the middle location, you will need to put it for the 4th round every single time, as this is the big location. So for the Halloween town square, you're going to have 4 Halloween tokens and 2 Christmas tokens. Then each character is going to select a location out of random and pop it on the right hand side. So I will go in the order of Jack. So Jack gets the Hinterlands in this case, Oogie Boogie gets the Pumpkin Patch, Dr. Finkelstein gets the Graveyard, Sally the Town Hall, the Mayor Dr. Finkelstein's Laboratory, and Santa gets Oogie Boogie's lair. So each character should have a location on the left hand side, the right hand side, and of course the location in the middle. And now, since we are on round 1, you're going to put the holiday tokens for round 1 at each location. Whoever decides who is going to be first player, 0 is the indicator on who is player 1. So let's say, for example, again, Jack is player 1. So each character will have cards that will either have numbers or specific powers. I will go through each individual character. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick up 4 cards. And each turn you are going to put a card down. So I have just numbers here, but then I also have here When played, if all tokens are at the same location at this same type at this location, advance 1 research. I will explain each individual's characters. So let's say I'm Jack and I'm interested in getting kind of an equal amount of holiday tokens. So let's just say, let's go for a big high score and go for the 10. So because it is your first card you're placing down, you are going to say it is the middle location and you're going to put it face down. Next player would have their 4 cards in their hand. And let's say puts it face down on left, right, or the middle. And it will go on and on and on. Once it goes all the way back around to Jack, the first player, now you are going to have to put your card down face up, whatever it may be. Sometimes there may be cards that say when played, or there may be some cards to say at the end of the round when everyone has presented their cards. For round 1, it does say that you need to play 3 cards and that you must, this is for every round, you must have at least 1 card at each location. So at the moment I'm just going to pretend that it's between Jack and Oogie Boogie. Okay, so you keep 1 hand in your card. Now, when it gets to the end of the round, you are going to flip your cards that you've kept hidden. And then what you're going to do is you're going to score them as far as their value. So, for example, it's best to probably go from left, right, and then the middle at the end. So, Jack has been given a 3 on his left, Oogie Boogie has been given a 3 on the left as well. So obviously it depends on which card that Santa brings out. Let's see. So let's say Santa brings out a 9. So you're fighting between these 2. Because Santa put a 9 down here, he wins these holiday tokens. And then you move them to your discard pile. Oogie Boogie and Jack, they're competing against the Hinterlands. Oogie Boogie has clearly won, so he takes these tokens. But Jack has clearly won the middle, so he's going to get all them tokens. So basically you're fighting again, you're competing against the one on your right and the one on your left for the left and middle locations, but you're all competing against that middle one because it's like the big scorer. Okay, so once you've done your scores and the players have taken their tokens to whoever wins, discard it and you move on to the next round and you get rid of all the locations. And you shuffle them again for round 2. So you might get different locations, you might get the same. So round 2 is 5 cards in your hand and you play 4 cards. So you can put multiple cards in a different location. So let's say, you know, you have a certain location, you're like, oh, I really fancy those tokens, let's try and score big. So for round 2, in this case it's going to be Jack's house, and then you kind of go around again. However, for round 2 you are going to go to the next player, and that player is going to become player 1, and you basically do the same thing. So at the end of all the rounds, so there's 4 rounds, once you obviously add up the holiday tokens, and depending on the value and what extra points that your character, some characters have individual goals that they have, whoever has the most wins. There you go. Now I will go on to explain each individual character. So let's start off with Jack. He gets an extra token, which is his little head, and of course we'll always start at 0. So Jack likes to research new holidays and get as much research as he can. There are of course cards that can help him to advance his research. Such as, down here, end of round, if Jack wins at this location, advance 1 research. So, the more points you score, the more value each of the tokens are going to be. So for example, if you end the entire game with 2 Halloween tokens and 2 Christmas tokens, all of your Halloween tokens are going to be times by 2, and all your Christmas are going to be times by 2 as well. There's also, there might be one worth for Halloween, but 3 with Christmas tokens. So you kind of, with Jack, you kind of want to mix and match of what holidays, what holiday tokens you would like. So you want to get like a really good balance between Halloween and Christmas. Now Sally is a little bit complicated. I have to try and find a way to understand how she works. So basically, she gets plus 1 more card in her hand than the other players. So instead of starting round 1 with 4 cards, she's going to start with 5 cards in her hand. Now, she can, she has the ability not to play a card except during the first round. So during the first round, she must play the three cards that are mandatory. However, for the rest of the round, she may not have to. She has the ability to stitch. So there are some cards where if she stitch, then she can get like extra points or extra value. I'm just trying to find them. So yeah, if she stitches this card, for example, she can claim 2 holiday tokens at that location. So what you do is, let's say I wanted to go for the right location, so I popped my card down here, but I say, ooh, but I really fancy those cards, but I don't know my chances. I can use this card and stitch. So you're going to put the stitch underneath, so it is a discard, and you're going to put it face up underneath the card. At the end of the round, the value doesn't mean anything, but because you did stitch with this card, you claim 2 holiday cards. At least that's how I am understanding it, because it does say you are discarding it, so it's not like, say, oh, I don't know, you get a... Oh, you got one here, so like end of the round and stitched, you get plus 3 points. However, minus 2 if it's played at the middle location, so you kind of want to stitch underneath there. So that's why she gets additional cards, so she has the ability to stitch. But from round 2 onwards, you can decide whether or not to play any of the cards or not. If you end the game with 0 cards in your hand and draw a pile, add 5 points to your final score. And the value for holiday tokens is Halloween is 2 and Christmas is 2, so she's a neutral character. Oogie Boogie has the advantage because you can gamble for more points with your dice. So, for example, let's say we've got a his holiday tokens, Halloween is worth 3 and Christmas is worth 1, so he is wanting those Halloween tokens. So let's say you've been given a hand and it's not really good, and let's say it's the middle and you're thinking, oh, I may not have a chance. You have the option to roll your dice to add strength to your character cards. Oh, brilliant. So that's 3, so now it's a value of 5. After all cards for the round have been played, choose a location and roll Oogie Boogie's dice. So obviously you can only do that when all the cards for the round have been played. Add the value of the difference between the dice to Oogie Boogie's strength at that location. So yeah, again, let's say you really want to get those certain tokens. So you can choose that location, the cards that you've got, roll, and there we go. Oh, that's better, that's a 10. Doubles. If Oogie Boogie rolls a double, he receives +1 at all locations. So you're pretty much gambling to get more of a chance to get what you want. There is also certain cards, I'm just trying to find them. called Lock, Shock and Barrel. At the end of the round, if Barrel and or Shock were played at this round, so you get +2 points, so they can come in very handy. So keep an eye for your faithful trick-or-treaters. So, Santa. I think it's quite obvious to say that holiday tokens, Halloween is worth 1 and Christmas is worth 3. He is all about that Christmas. Now, he is not used to tricking people or tricking or treaters, so he has little interest in spooking or sparing. He is here to spread Christmas joy. So, for example, he has ability to add more Christmas tokens to a location, or to kind of move Halloween tokens away from a certain location, which is great if there are certain opponents that's more about Halloween than Christmas. So it's more about spreading Christmas cheer, but of course he wants the Christmas tokens themselves, more or less. Not much to Santa, but then again, it's just all about spreading that Christmas cheer. The mayor starts off with his own little token, much like Jack, which is his mood token. And he will always start with the joy side up. So, this is something more for opponents to look out for, is there may be some cases where you have to flip the mood token. So let's say here, it tells me if I play a card, I have to flip the mood token. If joy side is visible, you can +2 points. If the panic side is visible, -2 points. So as the mayor, you kind of want to make sure that you are a happy mayor, not a stressed out, sad mayor. And he is a neutral character as well. He gets 2 Halloween tokens and 2 worth of Christmas tokens. Now, Dr. Finkelstein actually gets some extra cards called experiments. So there are 6 cards in total. You need to split them into 3. And then underneath where it says conducting experiments, you flip them side and see what you get. So for example, anytime Dr. Finkelstein's turn, if the spider is at the same location as 4 holiday tokens. Now, where you're going to find these little spiders is they're going to be at the bottom of his cards. So either at the bottom of there, or he might be holding it himself. So let's say I see that there's 4 Halloween tokens there. I put it there. So because I played it, that is a completed experiment, and you get an extra 4 points at the end of the game. So the more experiments you complete, the more points you're gonna get. And of course, for Finkelstein, it is all about that Halloween. So Halloween is worth 3, Christmas is worth 1. So here, if you have 4 completed experiments, you get 5 points. 5 completed, you get 6 points. And 6 completed is 10 points. So aside from gaining holiday tokens, you have your experiments to finish.